Good evening. We need to talk about something extremely serious unfolding right now in Venezuela, and a group right here in Nigeria has just released a very strong statement that is making waves across social media. The Nigeria-based Venezuela Solidarity Group has come out condemning what they are calling U.S. military strikes, and they are demanding to know where Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is right now. This is breaking news, and the situation is quite tense. Let me take you through what is happening, because this story has many layers and it affects not just Venezuela but the entire global political landscape. Right now, Venezuela is in chaos. Reports coming in from various sources indicate that there have been military actions, and while details are still emerging, what we know is that the United States has been involved in some form of military operation or strikes in the region. The Venezuela Solidarity Group, based here in Nigeria, is saying these actions are unjustified and they want answers immediately about President Maduro's current location and safety. Now, why does this matter to us here in Nigeria? And why should you care about what is happening thousands of miles away in South America? Well, this is about sovereignty. This is about international law, and this is about how powerful nations interact with smaller nations. Venezuela has been under immense pressure for years now. The country has faced economic sanctions, political isolation, and constant threats of regime change from Western powers, particularly the United States. President Maduro has been a controversial figure, no doubt about that. But what the Nigeria-based Solidarity Group is highlighting is the principle of non-interference in the affairs of sovereign nations. The group released their statement earlier today, and they are not holding back. They are calling these military strikes illegal, aggressive, and a violation of international law. They are demanding transparency about what happened to President Maduro because there are genuine concerns about his whereabouts. In situations like this, when military action happens and a country's leader suddenly goes quiet or cannot be reached, it raises all kinds of red flags. Is he safe? Has he been captured? Is he in hiding? These are legitimate questions that need answers. What makes this even more interesting is that this solidarity group operates from Nigeria. We often think of these international conflicts as distant, as something that does not concern us. But there are Nigerians, Africans, and people from the global south who understand that what happens to Venezuela today could happen to any other nation tomorrow. This is why they are speaking up. They see patterns. They see how powerful countries use military force, economic sanctions, and political pressure to destabilize governments they do not like, and they are saying enough is enough. Venezuela has been dealing with economic collapse for years. Hyperinflation destroyed their currency, people have been leaving the country in massive numbers, seeking better lives elsewhere, and basic necessities like food and medicine have been scarce. The Maduro government has been blamed for much of this, and there is no question that there have been serious governance issues. However, the sanctions imposed by the United States and its allies have also made things significantly worse for ordinary Venezuelans. It is a complicated situation where internal mismanagement and external pressure have combined to create a humanitarian crisis. Now, with reports of military strikes, things have escalated to a completely different level. Military intervention is serious business. It means lives are at risk, infrastructure could be destroyed, and the stability of an entire region could be threatened. The Venezuela Solidarity Group is saying that this kind of action cannot be justified, and they are calling on the international community to pay attention and demand accountability. If you are enjoying this breakdown of what is happening, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we bring you these important stories as they develop and you do not want to miss any updates. The demand to know President Maduro's whereabouts is crucial because in conflict situations, leaders often become targets. If something has happened to him, it could trigger even more instability in Venezuela. His supporters would be outraged, there could be more violence, and the country could descend further into chaos. On the other hand, if he is safe and in control, then the narrative about these strikes changes completely. This is why transparency is so important right now. The world needs to know what is really happening on the ground. From a Nigerian perspective, Watching this unfold should remind us of our own experiences with external interference. Africa has a long history of foreign powers meddling in our affairs, supporting coups, backing certain leaders while undermining others, and exploiting our resources. Many African nations have suffered because of this interference. So, when Nigerians stand in solidarity with Venezuela, they are drawing from their own historical memory. They understand what it feels like when your sovereignty is not respected, when powerful countries treat your nation like a chess piece in their geopolitical games. The timing of all this is also significant. We are in early January of this year, and global politics is already heating up. There are tensions in multiple regions, economic uncertainties, and shifting power dynamics between nations. What happens in Venezuela will send signals to other countries about what is acceptable in international relations. Will military intervention become more common? Will smaller nations have any protection against the might of superpowers? These are questions being asked not just in Venezuela, but in capitals across Africa, Asia, Latin America, and other parts of the world. Social media has been buzzing with reactions to this story. Some people are supporting the Solidarity Group stance, saying that Venezuela deserves to be left alone to sort out its own issues without external military pressure. Others argue that Maduro's government has been so problematic that intervention might be necessary to help the Venezuelan people. It's a heated debate with strong opinions on all sides. What cannot be disputed, though, is that ordinary Venezuelans are suffering, and whatever actions are taken should prioritize their safety and well-being above geopolitical interests. As this story continues to develop, we will keep monitoring the situation and bringing you updates. The Nigeria-based Venezuela Solidarity Group has made their position clear, and now the world is watching to see what happens next. Will there be official responses from governments? Will international organizations like the United Nations get involved? Will President Maduro appear publicly to address these concerns? All of these questions need answers, and we will be here tracking every development. Remember to like this video if you found this information helpful, and share it with others who need to know what is happening, because staying informed is how we understand our world better.